Misdiagnosis, misinformation and miscommunication has categorised the cancer screening and treatment services at the Midlands General Hospital in Portlaoise. This extraordinary level of dysfunctionality occurred long after and despite the fact that Mr Norton, a surgeon in Portlaoise, had written directly to Minister Harney in 2005 describing the diagnostic services there as, quote, as shambles, unquote. Clearly, no meaningful action was taken by the Minister to remedy the situation. Yesterday, we learned of the appalling case of the woman who had been diagnosed with a breast tumour in March 2005, but hadn't been informed until 9 months later, when she herself returned to the same hospital in pain for a further diagnosis, not knowing what the situation was. Only then did she discover the chilling news of the diagnosis which had been done and had been known, the results been known 9 months earlier. But through gross negligence and unprofessional conduct, never communicated to her. The tumour was left untreated and the woman's life was put at risk. She died 6 months later. Clearly the structures in Portlaoise are not functioning and have not been functioning for a considerable period of time, and the Minister knew all about it. Now we learn today of major new concerns in Cork and Galway University hospitals. These, Minister, are reasons enough for any responsible minister to do the honourable thing and resign. Minister Harney entered the Department of Health with a flourish over 3 years ago. She would do the devil and all. She announced her plans and promised great strides of progress within 6 months. Then it was 12 months. Then it was 2 years. Then Rome couldn't be built in a day. Then she said in the run-up to the general election that she needed a second term to make real progress. Now she is going to see it through, she told us passionately last night. But what is the Minister going to see through? And at what cost to the patient? Is it the withdrawal, due to the present staffing embargo, of essential physiotherapy services to a former postman in Sherrill Street who was suffering from Parkinson's disease, hypertension, back pain, ulcerated legs, depression, vertigo, a hernia in his chest that is inoperable and is on 20 tablets a day? His essential and necessary physiotherapy has now been withdrawn completely and indefinitely because there are no staff to deal with him in the Mater Hospital, and that has been put in writing from the services section to me. Are we to have more of the misleading HSE daily statistics which don't include busy weekends, which omit the time patients spent in the accident and emergency prior to diagnosis, and which state that patients have left A&E when in fact they are simply transferred to an annex, a sort of limbo, euphemistically described as an admissions lounge? A&E statistics are now deftly massaged for public consumption, but patients are no closer to a bed in a hospital ward. Is it to continue to be the Minister's assertion that the 3,000 beds taken out of the hospital system are not needed, although our population is growing and ageing, while at the same time the Minister is brazenly replacing them with private beds in co-located private hospitals on public hospital grounds? Is it to be the so-called fair deal proposals due to be implemented in January that will cost residents of nursing homes 80% of their disposable income during their life and up to 15% of the value of their estate after their death? And finally, is it to be the refusal of a centre of excellence to the entire population of the northwest of this country by the Minister? If these are the plans, policies and practices that Minister Harney wants more time to implement, then it is definitely time for the Minister to go.
1 minute.